Let's get to work. Come on.
Welcome to the Master of Trades podcast with your host, Harry Ellison.
Providing more value, understanding what's valuable for the people at the top of the organization. And when I say people at the top of the organization, I don't even think of the business owner. I think of the clients, okay? They're the ones that are at the top of this organization. So understanding what they want, the check writers, the actual check writers, that is incredibly valuable. So continue to listen in to this show. And man, when I say you have networking opportunities in the marketplace, you'll get excited when you understand how to utilize your network, those contacts, and exchange that for money, influence, altitude, goodwill, all the things. It gets exciting. So networking opportunities between, yes, the business owner, but other team members, other employees, vendors, okay? The suppliers of the business who are actually providing the product, the clients of the business who are actually buying the product, senior people management, all right? You get access to people who have done it, continue to do it, or in the trenches with you. You get to have that much needed contrast of who's winning, who's losing, why are they losing, why are they winning. Okay, it's good stuff. Networking, skill specialization, guys. Go into the trades. Go into the trades. Hear me again. Go into the trades. Okay, learn how to get into plumbing. Learn HVAC. Learn roofing. Learn how to serve somebody with a specialized skill. That's at an all-time low. Learn how to fix a car. These things are not being done now, which means that there's a vacuum of opportunity. When there's a vacuum of opportunity and there's not enough supply for people's demand, there's still demand. People still need their car fixed. They still have clogged drains, okay? People still need their roofs replaced. When you have less supply, you have higher demand. When you have higher demand, that supply just became much more valuable. Guys, you want to be valuable in the marketplace, know how to do something. Know how to execute on a skill, and then really learn how to genuinely enjoy serving people. You got it. You got it. I see you got it. Yeah, you got it. Isn't that good? Serve people. Can you believe it? I mean, you kind of have to take a breath before saying it. Serve people. Like, come on, we got to serve some people. We got to do it with pleasure and enjoyment. How can I solve your problem? I know how to do these things. I would love to help you with it too. Okay? That is not anything that you get from university. It's so powerful to enhance who you are for the rest of your life. You can stay within that industry as a high-paid W-2 employee, if that's what you want to do, if that's your mix, if that's your flow, if that's your flavor, man, stay in a company and get paid well. For most of us, though, once you master a skill, you can go off and do it on your own. Stick with our podcast and we'll show you how. But you go off, you do it on your own, life gets pretty good and pretty interesting and fun in that way as well. Which means you have entrepreneurial pathways. You have opportunities to learn from the marketplace, see what works, really understand the depth of the meaning when I say most entrepreneurs have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea how to run a business. Most business owners don't understand how to run businesses. They don't know how to lead. They don't know how to systematize what they do. They don't know how to track and grade what they do. They don't know how to get what they do out of their head. They don't know how to delegate. They don't know how to market the thing that they do. They don't know how to expand their network and get known. They don't know how to really run a business. They know how to do the thing. Let's go back to it. The skill specialization. That's something most business owners, to their credit, and the thing that I genuinely love about business owners, I think this is precious, is that in every case, you have someone who is specialized in a skill, who has learned that really well, and now they're offering it to the world. Like, here's something that's of me that I've learned. that I would like to now offer to you. And I would say in most cases, that's where business owners have started. That's where we can have a lot of grace for business owners, is that once upon a time, they said, I'm good at this and I'm willing to help you with it too. And I think that's special. I think that's something that we need to appreciate about all business owners, regardless of who they are today. How much of a miser, how much of a freaking turd that this person is. Let's just be honest. I've been terrible also. Like, we've all been bad. You've been a bad employee. I've been a bad boss. You've been a bad boss. Let's just I've been a bad lover. You've been a bad, we've all been the bad one, the bad version of the thing, the bad runner, the bad whatever, like the bad chess player. Like, we've all been the worst version of the thing. It's okay. I think the more grace we can have for entrepreneurs, the better. And by the way, if you take this pathway, you become an entrepreneur. You circumvent university. You learn how to do a skill. You become an entrepreneur. Guess who you're going to start to have more appreciation for? That's right. All those past employers that took you on, you're going to start to get that contrast and the context for realizing, man, this is not easy. I understand why they were an ass now. Makes sense to me. I get why they were so terrible and toxic, because I noticed that I want to get terrible and toxic too. Let's get terrible and toxic. Let's get terrible and toxic. That's in the brain of the entrepreneur. When you encounter the most dumb, idiotic, knuckleheaded employee things, when you experience the most freaking just client screaming at you over nothing, and actually it was their fault because Nancy in their office didn't tell them, but they're still screaming you and taking it out on you. Yeah, you get a little let's get toxic up in this mother. That's what all employers do, right? Guilty. Not right, but guilty. So listen, you're going to have more appreciation for entrepreneurs. You're making an immediate impact. Think about, just vision with me for a second. I could go down the path of university. I could spend 4 more years in this place, in this same geographical location. I could go from being 17 to 21 or 18 to 22. I could spend the most formidable years of my life, the highest energy, the highest belief. I mean, the freaking chemicals that are busting off in my brain right now make me feel like I can dominate the world and I will stand on top of it. That's powerful. You don't have that when you get older. That's something special that we're now channeling into this place called university, this place of old ideas, bad ideas, toxic and manipulative ideas. We're putting it there. We're getting into immediate debt. We have no life experience. Our expectation of what this place is going to do for us goes through the roof, and that's a lie. You only learn that at the end of the rainbow. There's no pot of gold for you. Okay, so there's all of that. You just use those years, use that time, that money, that energy for that. Instead, you go down the pathway of entrepreneur of the marketplace. You instantly start making money. You instantly start learning a trade, whatever industry you go into. You instantly start getting context for life, contrast for life and business. You start seeing what's actually valuable in the marketplace. What are people exchanging money for? Because it's not just ideas, it is actual tangible results and problems being solved. And now at the end of 4 years, I would be willing to bet my entire life savings, my entire existence and monetary value on the fact that this country would be far better off if we had the majority of people taking that path and having the context to know what to expect versus university, to actually having the expectation of, I think this is going to be a better path for me rather than university. That expectation alone, by the way, guys, when you have an expectation of I'm going to win, it affects the outcome. So people have an expectation of winning in university and it hasn't affected the outcome because it's just that bad of a trade. But people have an expectation of losing or losing more or not winning as much going into the marketplace. We need to change that. If we flipped it, it would be incredible. It would be an incredible experience. Learning resilience through failure, right? So in college, you fail a test. You fail to regurgitate the information that you were supposed to learn. And really, it's just cramming. Cramming is not learning. Cramming is there to regurgitate. I told my 9-year-old daughter this. I said, and we homeschool her, listen, you could have any of the most skilled teachers on the planet come in here and teach you something. But until you're ready to learn, until you're excited to take it in, you will never actually take those ideas and that great information. You'll never take it in and really have it affect your life because you're not interested. You're not receiving it. You could have a table filled with the most incredible food, and unless you eat it, it means nothing. So to be able to take information and have it actually affect and be applicable to your life, you have to be interested in learning about it. You're not going to be interested in learning about it unless you know how it's applicable. In the marketplace, you get to see instant feedback. That's the powerful thing. You don't have to wait 4 years to take ideas and then apply it to see if it works or it doesn't. It is instant feedback loop. Boss comes in and says, hey, you got to change the way you're communicating with customers from this to that. And then you do it on the next phone call and you see the effect of it, positive or negative. It's like, wow, that worked. Or no, that did not. You get instant feedback, and that right there is incredibly powerful. Okay. Understanding money, how to use money, how to make money, how to invest money, how money works. Guess what you're not taught in university? Actually, you're taught the opposite. Oh, what's $100,000 worth of debt when I get a piece of paper at the end that has an acronym of the university I went to? Like, whoa, you learn the opposite of the value exchange. You spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands, whatever it may be, on a piece of paper to say that once upon a time you knew something and you were taught by this institution, person, whatever. Yesterday, to me, as an entrepreneur and being in the marketplace, does not even exist. Yesterday doesn't even really matter. What you did yesterday is great, and it could set you up for an expectation of what you're capable of in the future, but it has no real world value until you prove it in today's timeline. Like, what results are you getting today? So money management is so powerful. Learning the value of a dollar. I mean, not really learn the value of the dollar is inherently false. Like, money is all made up. People assign value that's not real. And the value of the dollar is being manipulated and raped every single day by our government. So it's not about the value of the dollar. It's how to use money. And that right there is so powerful. And Americans just don't understand money. So that's a problem. Tailored learning, like you can jump to the university that you want. And by university, I mean the marketplace university. I mean the business you want to be in. You get to jump around and you get to taste so many different types of experiences, so many different types of bosses, work environments, cultures, in person, remote, this industry, that industry, this department, that department. You get to see so many different things. And if you do these 4 years right, you get to taste what you actually enjoy and where you want your path to be set. But then you got another 10 years. When you turn 20, not until you're 30 are you really going to actually know where your calling is, where you both fit, where you enjoy being, where you're good at. So the ability to taste that really early on and to like really get a sense of that's very, very powerful. Building your personal brand. Okay, building a personal brand, getting onto social, doing stuff like this, being on podcasts, recording videos, communicating your information. These are all things that you start to get in the headspace of because you see businesses do this. Everybody's a business. Everyone's a business. The business that you work for is a business. That business owner is his own personal brand, and you are your own personal brand. There is only Vendors and clients, there's no such thing as an employee. So when you go into the marketplace, you are not an employee, you are a vendor. You're a supplier of value. You are not paid for your time, but you have a source of support. Initially, it's just going to be energy, awareness, and eagerness. Like, I'm eager to freaking do something for you, boss man. If you teach me, I'm going to excel, and we're going to do some special things together. That's all you have to offer. But man, building your personal brand early, getting a sense of that's really what this whole thing's about, especially as the world moves more digital. Powerful, powerful connection point there early on. And then you're in the stream of innovation. You're in the marketplace, and the bigger fish always eats the smaller freaking fish. The world is changing rapidly. The marketplace is getting faster. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Master of Trades podcast. And if you're going to stay competitive in this marketplace, if you're going to be that bigger fish, you got to stay hooked up with the Master of Trades podcast. Hit the bell, like and subscribe. Check us out on Power Op Business Systems. Stay ahead of the curve. The marketplace is evolving quicker than you can even imagine. We've got our finger on the pulse of all this right now. I thank you so much for staying tuned with us. We will see you next week. Have a great day.